Let's strip away the filters and face the truth. Too many men are caught in a cycle, repeating the same predictable moves in the bedroom, wondering why the passion fades, never realizing that unforgettable intimacy isn't about doing more, it's about doing it right. These are 5 positions women truly long for. Not because they're wild or showy, but because they finally make her experience what she's been silently craving for years. You won't hear this in locker rooms or see it honestly in movies. This is the unspoken truth, and it's long overdue. And before we dive in, pause for a second. If you're serious about understanding women on a deeper level, hit subscribe now. This is where we talk about the things most men never learn but every woman wishes they knew. Here's the first truth. The position that creates the most profound physical and emotional bond is the very one most men overlook. It's not dramatic. It's not gymnastic. It's not even physically demanding. But it's powerful because it's personal. What women are truly aching for is connection. The right position doesn't just move her body, it opens her heart. It's one where eye contact isn't optional, where your faces are so close that every breath becomes part of the conversation, where your rhythm matches her vulnerability. This isn't just physical, it's deeply psychological. In this position, whether it's classic missionary with her legs wrapped tightly around you, or sitting face to face in a straddled embrace, eye contact becomes the center of gravity. It creates a whole new loop of pleasure. Science backs it up. Prolonged eye contact triggers oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It also engages mirror neurons in her brain, literally allowing her to feel what you feel. That's connection at the deepest level. And for many women, this is when intimacy becomes transcendent rather than just transactional. Most men shy away from it. Not because it's ineffective, but because it's too intimate. It requires presence. It requires you to be fully there, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You can't fake this. You can't drift off. You have to lead with focus, with your breath, with your energy. And when you do, her whole body answers. Her mind releases its guard. Her desire shifts from routine to reverence. This is the moment she feels safe to let go, to express, to experience everything without hesitation. That's the kind of intimacy she quietly longs for, but rarely receives. This isn't about performance. It's about permission, the permission you give her to be completely seen. Just raw truth. You don't need fancy words. Your eyes will speak for you. And when she feels that, her body will never forget it. This is where emotional and physical collide. It's not aggressive. It's not flashy. But it's powerful enough to reshape how she sees you, and even how she sees herself forever. And here's where most men stumble. It's not size, and it's not stamina. The real mistake is speed. Too fast, too soon, too focused on chasing an end goal instead of creating an unforgettable moment. But women don't crave speed, they crave synchronization. The kind of rhythm that doesn't overwhelm, but draws her in. The rhythm that feels like a dialogue between your bodies instead of a race to the finish. That's where real pleasure lives. The position that truly brings this alive isn't just about physical angles, it's about control. Whether she's on top while you guide her tempo, or you're behind her with your hands steady at her hips, the secret isn't in force, it's in flow. And here's where I'll ask you, if this is resonating, take a moment to like this video. Not for me, but so more men can learn what women have been waiting to experience. Neuroscience proves it. A woman's arousal system is responsive, not automatic. That means she needs presence, rhythm, and consistency to stay activated. Quick movements might simulate pleasure, but they don't build it. What truly ignites her deeper response is tempo, slower, intentional, in tune with her. Movements that keep her nervous system connected with yours. This kind of control shows her something rare. It tells her you're not just performing, you're leading, you're listening, you're creating tension without rushing to release it. And that restraint? That's what makes her crave you. Because it's unusual. Because it proves her pleasure matters more than your ego. Because it tells her you're not just inside her body, you're in sync with it. This rhythm becomes a language. A wordless way of saying, I feel you. I'm with you. I'm not going anywhere. And when that message sinks in, she stops resisting. Her mind stops racing. Her heart opens. And suddenly, you're no longer just another encounter. You're a memory she'll carry. It's a message that says without words, I feel you. I'm with you. I'm not leaving. And when that truth reaches her, everything shifts. Her body stops resisting. Her mind stops spinning. Her heart finally opens. And in that moment, you stop being just another encounter. You become a memory, a turning point. A man who didn't just try to satisfy her, but who moved with her, held her, and honored the rhythm of her desire. This is why you need to forget everything you've been told about going harder or lasting longer. Real intimacy isn't about that. It's about learning to lead with sensitivity as much as with strength. Because the man who can move in her rhythm, guiding it with patience and controlled power, is the man she remembers, not for speed, but for presence. For being there in every slow, intentional second. Here's a truth most men don't want to face. Women don't fear dominance. They fear unsafe dominance. And that's where too many men fail. They confuse control with aggression. They assume leading means taking over. But what women are truly drawn to is a man who can lead with authority while still making her feel secure. This is the secret behind the power surrender position, the one where she releases all control, not because she has no choice, but because she wants to. This position is built on framing physical and energetic. It can be from behind, with her body folded gently beneath yours, or with her wrists lightly held while her breath matches yours. It's not about overpowering. It's about protecting. It's not about domination. It's about providing an emotional container. When this is done correctly, she surrenders completely. And surrender here is not weakness, it's freedom. Neuroscience explains why. When a woman feels supported physically and emotionally, her parasympathetic nervous system activates. That's the system linked with relaxation, trust, and openness. In other words, that's where true desire, true pleasure, and true connection awaken. She isn't tensing. She isn't checking the clock. She isn't worrying about appearance. She's present because she feels secure in the presence of your strength. But this only happens when that strength is intentional. Your grip isn't about control, it's about containment. Your voice isn't about authority, it's about assurance. Women crave a space where they don't have to lead, don't have to calculate, don't have to guard themselves. And when you provide that space, you unlock a version of her most men will never know. This is where masculinity meets emotional intelligence. This is where she feels her most feminine, because your strength grants her the freedom to let go. Don't mistake this for aggression. This is devotion. The kind of strength that makes her feel untouchably safe even as her body surrenders completely. The man who can hold this balance, strong yet tender, guiding yet gentle, is the one who leaves her breathless. Not from tricks, but from presence. If more men understood how much power lives just a few inches deeper, not in thrust but in connection, they'd stop chasing empty performance and start cultivating true intimacy. Now, let's talk about the arching bridge position. This one isn't about what it looks like. It's about what it does inside. Because this angle reaches places most men never access. Not because they're incapable, but because they rush. But when you slow down, position her hips upward, and elevate her pelvis into a gentle curve, everything changes. This position, where her lower back is lightly arched and her hips are lifted, does more than change angles. It transforms the entire energetic flow. You gain access to a more sensitive part of the vaginal canal, especially the anterior wall. This area connects with the fornix nerves, which are tied to deep emotional and even spiritual responses. And before I continue, let me pause right here. If you're following this closely, drop a comment below. Share your thoughts, not just for me, but for the other men who are learning right alongside you. Let's build a conversation where men can support each other in becoming the kind of partners women truly crave. And keep watching, because what comes next will make even more sense once you understand how rhythm and angles work together. This isn't just mechanics. It's a full mind-body connection. Her body doesn't just feel taken, it feels understood. Her inner core, that hidden space rarely stirred, starts to awaken. But it's not just about the angle. It's about rhythm, presence, and calm, steady confidence. When you slow down in this position, when you lock eyes with her, breathe in sync, and move with the curve of her body, she doesn't just notice you, she opens fully. Not out of routine, but out of genuine desire. This position demands attention. Your hips, your touch, even your breathing must ease into stillness. You're not rushing. You're going deeper, physically and emotionally. And when you bring her that kind of depth, her whole system shifts. Her mind quiets. Her heartbeat grows stronger. Her emotions rise. Suddenly, she isn't just involved, she's dissolving into you. Few men ever step into this level of intimacy because they chase friction instead of connection. But the rare ones who do leave imprints on her body and memory long after it's over. Not because of the motion, but because of what they awakened in her. The last position isn't dramatic. It won't trend online or show up in films. Yet for many women, it is the most nourishing, the most complete. The side lock. Two bodies curled together, legs intertwined, one arm beneath her neck, the other wrapped around her waist. Nothing hurried. Every movement deliberate. Quiet. Close. Safe. And unforgettable. Why? Because it removes pressure. No strain, no balancing, no chasing a finish line. Just the two of you, inside the same moment. From a psychological view, this posture triggers oxytocin, the bonding hormone that deepens trust and emotional closeness. That's why it's never about how far you go, it's about how deeply you feel. Here, she can truly let go. In that release, her desire doesn't weaken, it expands. Because she's no longer on guard. She's surrendered. And you, fully present and attuned, become her grounding force. Your hand on her hips, your breath against her skin, your rhythm steady and assured. You're not trying to prove anything. You're showing her you already are enough. This is where vulnerability meets passion. She can laugh, whisper, talk, or pause. You can hold, kiss, linger. It isn't about performing. It's about partnership. And the safety built here stays long after, not because it was extreme, but because it was real. When you love her in this way, slowly, attentively, wholeheartedly, you rise above being just a lover. You become the man she trusts with every side of herself. That's not something she'll plead for in words. But her body will return to it, again and again, if you bring the presence this position makes possible. You don't need endless tricks. You need a shift in awareness. Stop obsessing over appearance and start tuning into how she feels. These 5 positions aren't about power plays or performance. They're about presence, connection, and understanding.